All right, everyone. We are just about to get started with our final session of the day. And I would love to say we save the best for last. I don't think there is a best, but this is something you need to hear and see because this person is she was the the standout favorite of our last presentation, our last webinar. She is going probably to take that title again today, but let's really, we have had an amazing couple of hours here. We had Coach Brent. How great is he, by the way? And Melanie Miller sharing all about her business. You know, one thing I got from Melanie was she takes her business very seriously, right? She treats it like a business. These are our businesses. So let's schedule that time with Brent. Get yourself an agent wheel. And Melanie wasn't always a 7, 8, 9, and 10 in the different sections of her agent wheel, right? Everyone's got to start somewhere. Even if you're a 1 in a particular area, that's a place to start. Start as a 1. You can always improve. All right, let's move on to, and also final thank you to our sponsor, Lone Spot Inc., Abdul Arofalami. He is amazing. He's going to be reaching out to you guys. Please give him an opportunity to earn your business. He is making it possible for us to do all of this at no cost for you. So thank him by letting him quote your next buyer. And all right, let's get to our final presentation of the day. Appreciate everyone sticking around. This is amazing. And we are going to bring on one of my favorite people and a friend of mine and somebody who comes on our show every single month and tells you exactly what to do in video to help you get more business. We're talking about, of course, Kim Rittberg. And let me tell you about Kim in case you don't know Kim that well. Kim is an award-winning creative executive producer in TV and video, a digital marketing strategist, social media and video expert, an on-camera media coach with a proven track record and 500 million video views. 500 million. She blends 15 years of journalism with content marketing at top tier outlets, including Us Weekly, where she launched and ran their video unit, Netflix, Pop Sugar, People Magazine, and Fox News. She's worked with brands such as Bloomingdale's, Olay, Walgreens, Kia, Owls Brew, and It Gets Better, where her award-winning partnership has earned 6 awards and has been incorporated into educational content within the Los Angeles School District. She has been featured in Forbes, Fast Country, Business Insider, and is a frequent speaker, most recently at the Fast Company Innovation Festival, Podfest Expo, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Convention, and the Women's Real Estate Investment Summit. Kim is founder and principal at Henry Street Media, which helps companies, individuals, and publishers of all sizes expand their brand and maximize revenue through unforgettable content and communication. At the peak of her corporate media career, when Kim found herself scrolling on her iPhone, working during childbirth, she realized she needed to redefine success and launched her own business, focusing on helping businesses grow through video and podcasts. She also launched the Exit Interview with Kim Rittberg. Please subscribe to that, which is a top 1% podcast. Kim, welcome once again.
Hello, I'm very excited. Okay, everybody. I know you've been listening and learning so much. I'm very excited to join you. I realize my bio is pretty long, but that's okay. It's all good. I was like, I'm going to shorten this bio next time. So we are going to talk about social media video mastery, how to generate leads while you sleep. And if you want to show your face, you can. I'll be asking you questions in the chat. So even if you don't want to show your face, I'd love it if you respond in the chat. So I want to first know, of this group, how many years have you been in real estate? It kind of helps me as I'm teaching, kind of get a sense of where you're all at. I'll give you a second to jot in the chat. How many years have you been in real estate? Okay, great. I see. Okay, 8. Okay. 11 from Jennifer, Abdullah 7, Christine 8, Tatiana 17, Sandy 3, Tashara less than a year, Ruth 3 months, Sheila 1. Okay, great. Huge range. Awesome. Justin 9 years. Okay, great. Keep dropping him in and just keep dropping him in. 13 years, Milton. Okay, cool. So I by mistake gave DJ my old bio. In the last few years, I've actually become a real estate video coach, really focusing on agents around the country. As you can see in the photo on the screen, and me in green, I recently spoke at Inman Connect in New York City. and I'm going to be the keynote speaker at the Next Home conference in March in a couple weeks in New Orleans. And one of the things I really love is bringing all of my media expertise to agents because I think there's a few things. I have a lot of, first of all, I've sold and bought a few properties of my own, but more than that is we all have to sell ourselves, right? Like I run my own business. I am my own best advertisement. You run your own business. You're selling yourself. So you're not selling a home, you're selling yourself. So for me, it's really fun to be able to empower people with the knowledge of how do you sell yourself better? How do you use your own expertise, charisma, charm, knowledge, sagacity, wiseness, whatever, to actually sell more homes, to bring on more clients? So that's been really fun. As DJ mentioned, every month I'm keeping it real, and I have agents across the country from the East Coast, West Coast, North, South, Canada also. So really people who've been in the agent world from 1 year to 30 years. And so it doesn't matter if you've never made a video before, you never showed up on camera, or you're in year 30 and you've been making videos for 10 years. We're all looking to get to that next level, right? Whether you're looking to just bring in leads for the very first time, build awareness, or you've already gotten leads and clients from social media and you're looking to step it up because maybe you're plateauing or maybe you're just, you're in a new stage and you want to get more known. So I love that it really runs the gamut. This is a picture of me standing outside Netflix. I worked in media for nearly 20 years. Netflix, People Magazine, Us Weekly, and I was in TV news. And the reason why I think it's very important to like share that bit of information is because the knowledge that I share is not my opinion. Not that no one cares about what Kim thinks, but it is my professional opinion based on 20 years of journalism. And now the last 5 years, I've been working with agents and self-employed business owners. And so a couple of the things I really lean into from my media and journalism experience, I'll be teaching you today. But I do like to say that it's grounded in that, right? I'm someone who's put on TV thousands of people, both train them to be comfortable, but also help them tell their story, right? Really pick out what makes you unique and showcase that. Cool. So one thing I always like to start with for agents, a lot of people know this, but a lot of people don't, is who you're reaching when you're on social media. I think there's sometimes this idea of like a vending machine. I pop in a video and out pops a client. It's not really how social media works. You're sort of planting the seeds, you're watering them, you're growing them, and you're getting the leads and the clients over time. But it's important to understand who exactly you're talking to. So you're talking to past clients, other agents, developers, referral partners, new clients. You're looking to expand that sphere of influence. I like to think of it as rekindling relationships. And I'm going to ask people to drop in the chat, have you gotten leads from social media so far? And then have you been able to convert leads into clients from social media? So no, I'm seeing a mix. Yes, no, yes, no, yes. Okay, great. Yes, leads, no clients. Okay. So you can say yes, client, yes, leads, no client. Yes, Facebook and YouTube. Great. Awesome. And I think it's really important to understand leads from social, they're not converting leads and clients. Good. Well, I'm glad to see that people are already getting leads and clients. And then I guess I would ask you, like, what is the next step you're looking for in social media, right? Because if people are like, well, I've gotten some leads. I'm like, okay, great. You've gotten some clients. Awesome. That's great. And I'll show you as we go through here, but my clients who are really have a solid video strategy, solid social media strategy, showing up constantly. And I'll go through this a little bit later, but the output is millions and millions of dollars in homes. So my clients who are really taking the strategy and then implementing it with that accountability are really seeing it. They're getting referrals and clients leads every single week. And so I just wanted to frame that if you've gotten some, that's great. To really build that consistently that's where we're talking. Now I'd love to know, 1 to 10, how do you feel about being on camera? Jennifer, I have no strategy and I'm totally consistent. Okay, I love the honesty. Sandy's ready for Broadway. Jennifer hates the camera. Okay, we have everybody in between. So if 1 is you hate the camera and 10 is Broadway, here we come. Let me know where you stand. Okay. And then I see for those of you who've said you have gotten leads, you have gotten clients, Christine, Tatiana, Sandy, Sydney, Tashara, like what are you looking for from social media and video moving forward? So you're saying I've already gotten leads and clients. Okay. What are you looking for, right? So we have Justin, Christine, Sydney, Tashara. 10 doesn't bother me anymore. That's good. The people who did say they got leads and clients, what are you looking for? Higher quality leads and clients. Yep. I hear a lot of that. Okay, great. So we have a nice mix of people, some people ready for Broadway and other people don't. I want to reframe what is confidence on camera. So just this year, I have trained supermodel, not this year, 2024, but supermodel, the whole staff of Fortune magazine, and many other independent agents and entrepreneurs. And the biggest thing I think is a big unlock for those of you who hate being on camera is that it's a transference of your skills. So I assume if you're in a room, I would say raise your hand, but you're all like on Zoom. Most of you feel pretty comfortable with like new clients, right? You walk into a networking event, you feel comfortable. That comes with the territory. You can't be an agent if you can't talk to people. It's very, very, very hard. So a lot of people think that being on camera is this like other skill that's really only made for certain people, but that is not true. So I'm here to just say being good on camera, quote unquote, being good on camera is not about being good on camera. It's actually about transferring your great, totally standard, good social skills in person to feeling comfortable on camera. You don't actually have to have a new skill or be better at X. It's about training your body to be able to transfer your personality that is already good and already wonderful in person to on camera. So I think that that's like a big shift, mindset shift. And if that resonates, you can drop in here that your shift. It's more of a shift from that in person to on camera. You don't need to gain new, you don't need to like become something else. It's not even really so many new skills. It's really a practicing of applying your in-person skills to on camera. If you're feeling that, that's a shift. I want you to say, okay, like type in the chat shift that you're processing, that's how you go from a 1 to a 4, or from a 4 to a 7, or for a 6 to a 9. DJ, we'll get you to shift. We'll do a session. DJ, we're going to do an on-camera session for the show then. We'll do a live coaching session.
Love it.
Jennifer shift, Sydney shift. Actually, that'd be really fun, for real. Great. Want to be confident in your content. Someone confident on camera, confident. Good. Okay, great. And then, so a big thing that I want to say for people who are hiding from the camera is hiding from the camera is hiding from clients. You are not selling a home. You are selling yourself. Sometimes those videos, I definitely see from a lot of my clients, sometimes those listing videos sell homes. But big picture, you're selling yourself. So you have to start showing up on camera. And I'm going to show you an example. I have two women that I've worked with in this past year, 2024. They sold $8 million in additional homes from video. And I ask people to quantify because I do think people are like, yeah, it's going well. I'm like, have you gotten leads or clients from video? Yes, actually. Together, Jessica in Houston, Brianne in Florida have sold $8 million in additional new homes. And that is from consistently showing up on camera. I would like to know, would you like an additional, I'm writing this in the chat, $8 million in new homes sold. And I think it's important because I think a lot of us, these are just like, oh, in theory, it'd be nice to show up on video more confidently, or it'd be good to put out more content. But we're really talking about outcomes. And, DJ mentioned this in my bio, but like I was working in the hospital. I had a great corporate career. And I'm like, I don't want to work in the hospital. I don't want to be on my iPhone when I should be worried about my baby. It was a real shift for me. I have to run my business and I have to grow this business. And so a lot of times we think of social media as this nice to have, but it's really a core element of business building your business, lead generation, business development, sales. And I'm seeing good. Tashara, DJ, Sydney, Tatiana, Jennifer, Sandy. Yes, everybody. We would all like $8 million in new homes. Actually, I only see 6 agents that want $8 million. Everybody else doesn't want $8 million. So that's it. You're not getting it. I'm just kidding. But you could say yes, $8 million if you're looking to make more money off of your content. All right. I want to talk about 2 C's. I have a 4C thing, but today I want to really focus on 2 of the C's that I think are really, really, really crucial for my agents that are looking to consistently get leads and clients. So I'm looking in the chat about people, right, want to be confident in content, get more leads to convert them, consistency, more leads and clients. Everybody wants more leads and more clients. So you've gotten some in the past, you want more. Good, great. So credibility. So I see this coming in the sense of you go to the doctor, you go to surgery, You're not going to get surgery from doctor who doesn't have their diploma up on the wall, right? That's kind of the most ridiculous version of it, but people don't want to work with you unless they really trust you, right? So in your content, you have to consistently be building in that trust. So what does that look like in terms of credibility? So when we're talking about credibility, the bottom is the just listed, just sold that shows that you actually have homes. Boom. I like that. But that's really the base, right? That's like the kind of mandatory minimum. It's there, it exists, it shows you have a business. When we're talking about credibility, we really want to show people how do you think, right? What is your particular perspective on the market, on the area, on the neighborhood, on the new development? What everybody is an expert in their own way. And the goal of being an agent is to be the expert in the area, the expert in real estate and the expert in your neighborhood. So I'm going to give you an example. So this is one of my clients. His name is Randy. And he is, I know we have people coming from the very beginning of their real estate career to people who I think they said they were in for 20 years, 17 years, 13, right? 13 years, 17 years. And Randy has been in it for several decades. He already had 300,000 followers, but he came to me and he said, I'm not sure if these are converting. So we worked together one-on-one and we came up with a plan to really focus on his credibility because a lot of times we don't think about this, but I do because I'm a marketer. But even if you have a huge following, even if people are already following you and you're known, is it turning into money in your pocket? And so I pulled back and I started analyzing, what's working, what isn't working. And what I really wanted to focus on was not just to be the person who opens the door and makes fun videos that people enjoy watching. I don't want it just being eye candy for real estate. I want people saying, this guy knows what he's talking about. I trust this person with a huge investment. And we created a YouTube video series focused on credibility, really focusing on positioning him as the expert. And he landed $1 million home referral just from that YouTube video series. In addition, over our work together, he's built a huge referral business that he credits to me. But we worked together really in partnership for like 6 months. And the referral business has absolutely changed his business. Now he has a lot of inbound from other people in other states. And that has been a huge boon to his listings and his sales and his revenue. So that's what I think about when I talk about credibility. Cool. Okay. Any questions about credibility, about like what that means? So credibility, we could be talking about you as an expert, answering people's questions, sharing what you're learning from your clients. So the first one is that credibility. The next piece that I think is really, really important is connection. So similar to how we transfer in-person confidence to on-camera confidence, we're really trying to, I don't know the scientific word for it. It's commute. No, that's not the word. Anyway, transfer the connection we're building in person through the actual camera. So we're trying to bring people in and let them get to know us. So Jessica, who I mentioned earlier, I wanted to pull her out as this connection piece because she's a good example of the connection piece. So she's a real estate agent in Houston and a mama too. She was struggling with her confidence, delivery, and overthinking how much personal content to make. That's what she said when she came to me. Actually, she was a Keeping It Real listener. And she ended up taking video boot camp with me. And we built a strategy with her that leaned in to her being a mom of two, that really had people get to know her and build that connection and layering on the credibility. So it started where she had one client leave another agent and actually switch to her. They found her on Instagram, or reconnected with her on Instagram. They had met in person years and years ago. And then from one client, then she got 3 clients directly from social media. And now it's consistent. And they had said to her, I feel like you're really knowledgeable. So she's getting that credibility and that connection. So what we did was we worked on a strategy where she could feel comfortable opening up herself and her personal life, not too personal, but enough so that people connected with her. What I see for agents who are starting out, there's too much of the personal connection and not enough of the professional. And my clients who are really, really bringing in those millions of dollars in sales from video, they're balancing it. It's both professional and personal. And for them, that's the super important part of it for them, balancing that. So the newer agents I see, it's almost too much too much personal. It's like me and my dog and my trip to Spain. And then other people, it's often all professional and not enough for someone to actually either get to know you or honestly make a comment. Sometimes people aren't going to comment on your video about the market, but they might comment on your video about your trip to, where did we go on vacation? Your trip to Turkey. I don't know, I'm thinking Turkey. Anyway, awesome. I have another agent who one of her things was weight loss and roller skating. And she ended up just like using that as kind of one of her tenets of her content. And first of all, it's really visual and fun to watch someone roller skate, but she would start roller skating through some of the homes she was listing. And I was like, that's really fun. And you feel more connected to her because it's just like a fun aspect of her personality and it's genuine. Awesome. One other thing I get from people is like so this is the last thing, and then I'll open it up to Q&A. Um, one thing I get often is the iPhone versus the video crew. Like, when is it appropriate to use my iPhone and when should I be having like a proper video shoot? And I think that that's a great question. I know the iPhone and those more like native and organic content can do really great things to build connection with people. And a lot of my agents really are able to be building a connection with people with the iPhone. I do think that, especially depending on your demographic or the types of homes you're showing, there is a point at which you should be having like a proper full videographer, a sound crew, and actually do a proper brand shoot about yourself. I think what it says to people is, I'm investing in my business, right? I understand how to market, because if you can have a beautiful video about yourself and beautiful content about yourself, you can probably do that for their home. So I think that the proper like fancy video shoot is important to have at some point. At some point when you've been in real estate for a certain amount of years, it really, really helps to elevate you. The iPhone content builds that connection on all of the social platforms. It is, people feel like they know you. You can take it out with you while you're walking. You can kind of talk people through your day, right? It can really has that one-to-one feeling. So I think there is a place for both. But I do usually get that question, like, should I film on my iPhone? Should I film on a video? I think before any of that, like, I don't like when people ask me, oh, Kim, what tech should I buy? I'm like, don't click buy. Figure out your strategy first, figure out your budget, figure out your time commitment. And then you figure we can talk together about, is it an iPhone? Is it a proper video shoot? What is right for you? So I think it's really important to make it a conversation between your goals, your demographic, your budget, your timeline, how much time do you have to commit? I think it's just very important to be real. Like, maybe I have a big budget, but I don't have time, or have no budget, but I do have time. So really figuring out where you're at in terms of your investment and where you're at in terms of your timeline, your business. And so a lot of those things can really be a part of that strategy of, how do I want to show up? How often do I want to show up? What should I be making my content with? And that's really a strategic picture of your business. And I'm going to drop in here. I'll drop my free download for real estate video tips. And I think I put my Instagram in here earlier where we should connect, but I'm going to open it up for questions for people to share questions that they have with me. I'm going to drop in. This is my free 5 videos every agent must make. And then I'll put in my Instagram as well. And I'm going to be looking at the chat for questions. Going off being new and posting. It feels like I just have to learn and hide until I feel credible. It's a trap, even though I know things. Okay. I love this question from Sydney. I hear this from a lot of my new agents. So I have agents who are really in their first months to agents who've been in there for 30 years. Being new is not a problem. You're doing this because you're passionate. You are knowledgeable, even if you don't have like all the zeros behind the dollar sign. Oh, it's not a question, but I think that, Cindy, it is a good jumping off point. Talk about what you get asked. Talk about what you know, right? Talk about where you are in your business. Sorry, I'm going to the page. Okay, I'm going to leave this up. So talk about where you are in your business. And what questions you get asked. So you can be positioning yourself as the expert, even if you don't have that much experience. You doesn't know. The thing is, people think like, oh, I need listings to make content. I'm like, listings are actually the most boring type of content, honestly. Unless that buyer is there to buy that specific home as content, it's not that interesting. So you actually don't need a listing to make content at all. So write down a bunch of the questions that you're asked in the last month, actually over the next week. Write down things people are asking you. And that can be your first question. And I want everyone here to say, I'm going to show up today or tomorrow on camera and you're going to tag me. I want you to show up one time, okay, to show up on camera one time today or tomorrow and tag me on Instagram. And then DJ and Sandy, I'm going to read Sandy's. Should we be paying to boost ads? If so, how often? DJ is asking, should realtors be doing short form video or more long form content? I love that. So Sandy's question about boosting ads, that's really, really specific to each person. So you can absolutely boost ads. I think if you're trying to get more eyeballs on a specific post, great. I would say be specific with where you're using your money. So that ad that you're doing, it can be for your brand, like this is what we do, this is who we are. It could be for a listing, but don't put it just behind a random video that you like. It should serve a purpose. You should be thinking about it as like, how does this hit one of my goals? Does it show me off as credible? Does it build that connection piece? Is it a listing? Maybe you're boosting listing, but be really thoughtful because a lot of times people just say, oh, well, that video is doing well, I should boost it. That video might be doing well because it had a trending audio. It's not really like strategically, it might not be the answer. Great. I'm going to do Tashara. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. You can just tell me if I'm saying it wrong. If you have a budget and time, what should you be looking to do as far as social media? How do you know when you should pay for professional videography? Tashara, great winner. So, and DJ was asking about short and long that I'm going to talk about also. So Tashara, I think that's a great question. If you have a budget and if you have time and you've been in business for a few years, I think especially depending on the price point of the homes you sell, you should be doing a professional video shoot. There is a point at which where clients do expect that of an agent, especially if you're doing luxury listings. I think it's really important. I think it doesn't have to, not I think, I know professionally, I'm trying to get rid of that as a verbal tick. There are times where the professional video is important. It is also connected to the type of videos you're doing. So the type of, listings you're doing. If you're selling a lot of luxury, new development, high price point, people are going to want to see that you have a professional video. I have also seen it really, really, really valuable when people just don't have that video where they say, hey, this is who I am, right? Like, this is what I'm about. Or one of my clients, they just merged, another one's a husband and wife team. So sometimes it's maybe you're pivoting or you have a new partner, or you just don't have that video that tells people who you are. And that could be for your website, but also for social media. No, yeah, no, I think that you can actually what I recommend doing, what I like to do with my clients is I do a shoot and we do the here's who I am. And then we also have it be shorter form videos that we can use for a longer amount of time on social media. I think it's really a great way to tell people like, this is who I am, this is what I do. And it also forces you to, sit down and say, okay, what do I want to talk about? What do I know? How do I share that with people? And so I think it could be a really good way to say, this is who I am. This is who I help. This is what I'm an expert in. And I've had clients who are starting and they're in the first quarter, the first 6 months of their business, and then we get together and we do that proper shoot. So I think it's not about that. DJ, short form and long form. I think they are both valuable. So longer form helps people kind of lean back, get to know you better, podcasts and like longer YouTube videos. Short form gets consumed more. So if you have a lot of short form videos, people are kind of like eating it like M&Ms. I think there's a place for both. A lot of times you could take long form content and cut it up. So if you watch Keeping It Real, you go to Keeping It Real's Instagram, the top agent interviews, they have the short form video. So you can see what they're doing. Long form video and podcast, short form reels. And I think when you're doing video specifically and you're not coming from a podcast world, you really want to have video that really works for that app, right? Whether it's Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, you really want to have the video feel like it's for that app. And the longer YouTube is really good because people can lean back. And also Google and YouTube are cousins or sisters or whatever you want to call it, that you will have more search. Google will find you more if you do more on YouTube. All right, Timothy. Should you stick to using your personal profile or create separate business profile for social media? Great question. Pros and cons. So business accounts, there's like more flexibility with ads. You have more professional capabilities. Personal profile, more people are connected to you and like want to hear from you, but it is personal. So one thing I recommend for some people, keep it separate. So you have a professional and you have a personal, but you can kind of share between them. And even if you have a business page or a business profile, you have to be treating it like not, I don't know how to say it, like your sort of dumping grounds for like brand content, right? It shouldn't just be like just listed, just sold, like AI image that you got from your brokerage or agency. It really has to be you. That does all the content that performs better is really people-led content, if that makes sense. Content that is your face, is your voice, is your opinion. And I think the negative about business content is it's on every social media platform. Basically, business content doesn't get seen as much. People don't connect with businesses, they connect with humans. So there's pros and cons of both, but you have to show up as a human, even if you're using your business profile. So I hope that that answered your question. Okay, great. And then again, I want everybody, I'm challenging everybody to show up. Okay. I'm screenshotting your names. So I'm not gonna like hound you, but I'm gonna follow you on social media. And then I'm gonna tell you, I want you to show up on camera and I'll give you a challenge. You can say, I just did DJ Paris is keeping a real webinar. I learned so many things. You can shout out one thing that you did learn. But it's really important to start showing up and having your clients seeing you out there. How many of you have gotten a client because you were top of mind, right? Did being top of mind bring you a client recently, right? I'm asking you that. Did being top of mind bring you a client? I want you to drop that in. I want you to drop that in here. And you hear I'm screenshotting. Yep, being top of mind brought you a client, right? So it's the same with social media. You are staying relevant, you are staying top of mind for them by just showing up and saying, I went to DJ's seminar. I'm an agent who invests in myself, who keeps learning, and that learning is helping you. So that learning is for you to get value out of. So not only is it, I think a lot of people are like, well, what do I post about? Is not that it's narcissistic, but it's like, who cares about this? Your clients care. Your clients want to know that this is a person who's invested in my well-being financially. This is a person who shows up for seminars and learning about all these new things about the market, about technology, about marketing. So, and it's important. I'm telling you, you're selling yourself, but to that client, you're selling their home. So remember that when you're showing up and showing somebody, hey, I went to DJ's webinar. I learned so much. I learned how I can sell your home better with video, right? Or whatever. You're showing them that you're investing in yourself. So I think that's super, super important. All right, more questions. I'm looking in the chat. I'm looking in the chat. And I'm also dropping the free download, which is real estate tips download 5 videos that every agent should make.
Kim, what ratio would you recommend to our listeners or our audience here for personal versus professional?
Great. So I love that. And I'm actually going to spin that also. So personal versus professional, I'm going to put personal into the connection piece. So I'm going to pull this back again. I'm going to pull the personal back into the connection piece and the business into the credibility piece. And so I think you need both. And instead of thinking of it, I think we all think of it as like personal. I would also push you to, and we can connect on this, is can we connect a thread between your personal and your professional? So, for example, I post a lot about being a working mom. Okay, you might be like, how's that really relevant to your clients? Well, most of my clients are self-employed. They are agents, coaches, or consultants. That's basically my clients. So how it works for them is I see them. I am with them. I understand the juggle. I understand the juggle of scheduling a meeting and then realizing, oh my gosh, I have to get my kid from their soccer game. I understand about the financial unpredictability of being a self-employed person. I understand the idea of betting on yourself. Every January, you're at zero. That's really scary. So again, when we're talking about personal, some of the personal, that's what people connect with. Like I have so many people come to me and they're like, I feel like I know you. Like I feel like we have a lot in common. Obviously, they trust me. They trust me because da 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 da. I showed them my credibility with this, right? I showed them my credibility with this. But I'm building my connection with the personal stuff. So I love that question, DJ. And I think it's so much about how we frame that personal. And I almost forgot, I'm going to take a picture of all of us. Everybody's like off camera, but that's okay. That's okay, right? That's okay. That's okay that we're going to have that. I'm going to take a picture of everybody. For anybody who wants me on camera, I'm taking a picture for social media right now. Okay. It's just me. It's just me. Oh, it's me and Christine and DJ and Abdul and Sydney. Oh, everyone's getting on camera. Everyone's getting on
Yeah,
camera.
everyone turn on your camera for a
Everyone
quick
turn on your
second.
camera. You're going to be famous. Everyone's going to be famous.
Let's all tag each other.
And you can also take out your phone and you can do a photo or a video, either one. This can count as your make some content and tag me, right? Hold on. Actually, I'm going to put on the thing. Hold on. I'm going to move the chat. Okay. All right. Yeah, now it's all awesome. Great. Okay, smile. Oh, wait, now I got to move my camera into the right place. All right, we're all going to wave because we love keeping it real. Yay. And now I'm going to do video and we're going to say, I love keeping it real. DJ, I'm making your commercial. You're welcome. All right.
Thank you.
On the count of three. All right. 3, 2, 1. I love keeping it
I'm
real.
keeping it
I
real.
love keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
We're so out of sync. I love it. I'm going to do it better. I'm going to do it better. It's because we're in different cities. Okay. 3. Oh, wait. Now I'm going to start it again. Okay.
Everybody unmute.
Unmute.
Unmute. Let's give it a few seconds. Everybody hit that mute. And we're going to say, I love keeping it real.
I'm making DJ's ad for the show.
Thank
Anthony.
you.
Anthony's still muted. I'm calling you out because I see your face. All right.
Sorry.
All right. Sydney, got to get you unmuted. You got a big smile. Got to get you unmuted. Yep. Sydney's in it to win
Okay,
it.
we're good. We're good.
Oh, wait. Now I'm recording this whole time of just me nonsensing. Okay. 3, 2, 1. I
Keeping
love
it
real.
real.
That was good. Very effective. That's good. That can count. That and the other one, you can put that on social media. You're going to tag Top Asian Interviews. You're going to tag Kim Rittberg. You're not going to spell my name wrong because I'll be mad if you do. Just kidding. Well, also you won't find me on Instagram. And it's important. Again, same thing I was saying before. You're showing everybody I invest in myself and my business. I care about you. I care about your investment. So it's really, really important to be showing them that. So we're readjusting from that, like, oh, who cares what I did on Tuesday, to saying, oh, people actually do care. I'm protecting their investment. I'm learning. I'm growing. Okay, I'm here for more questions. We got another like 7 minutes for questions. And thank you for turning on your faces, turning on your screens. Not your face. Your face was always on, but your screen is on.
Kim, what do you think about sort of TikTok right now? How important is TikTok for business? Is it important? Should we focus on it?
Oh yeah, and if everyone can drop their Instagram tags in here, and I will tag you when I post it. So I think TikTok, just like every other social platform that I work with my clients, I do a program called Video Boot Camp, and we can connect if that's for you. It's a group coaching course for agents across the country. And for in Video Boot Camp, the very first thing I teach people is go to those platforms, research about those platforms, see if they are a fit, and if your clients are there. So if your clients are on TikTok, you should be on TikTok. If your clients are on Facebook, then you should be on Facebook. Maybe you're on both, right? But TikTok, the whole thing about, I can't predict the future with anything in the world, but it is just like every other social media platform. Just figure out where your people are. And I do think there's a point at which you have to test it for a while. You're not just going to go on a new platform and say, oh, I posted 2 videos and I didn't get a great response and it's not working for me. It takes a really long time to build that up. It's months and months and months. But don't do TikTok if your audience is all on Facebook or YouTube. It's just not a good use of your time. I think you can test it. And I also think it's about, I was talking earlier about like quote unquote investment. I think it's also a sense of understanding what investment you're willing to make. If you have an assistant who's doing it for you, take those videos, tell your assistant, put these on TikTok at this frequency, and I don't want to hear about it. So if you have the scale to do stuff, play and try. If you are by yourself and you are stretched thin and you are overworked, overwhelmed, and trying to balance your life, don't add another platform that you're not sure about. So I do think when people, and I love these questions, and I hate being like, well, it depends. But the answer is, it depends, is that you have to come first with the strategy. And within the strategy is, how much time do I have? How much money do I have? Do I have staffing, right? Where are my clients? you have to answer those questions first. So some people have amazing businesses from TikTok. Other people have amazing businesses from Facebook and LinkedIn. Other people have amazing YouTube businesses. And it's really about where do you want to lean into? What are your investments? So what do you have? Money, time, staffing, etc. Skills. Do you love video? Do you love technology? Do you love being on camera? And so I think it's really about leaning into what you do have, whether that's time or you don't have money but you do have time, or you do have money but you don't have time. Figuring out what makes sense for your business. It's the same with all the other things you're building, right? As you're doing your reach outs, as you're building your financial backbone of your business, it's the same thing as assessing what do I have and where do I want to go. Oh yeah, Tatiana, the answer is yes. I will connect with you. I'm screenshotting everybody from here so I can tag everyone. Yes, Tatiana, we'll connect. Tatiana, I'll drop you my Calendly link and we can chat. And Christine, okay, good. I'm looking at everyone's links. Timothy, what is the best way to introduce yourself to your social media sphere and tell them about your new career? I love that. Timothy, can you drop in what were you doing before? Drop in what you're doing before. Cool. And Tatiana, I'm responding to you. I'll put in here. Actually, it's public. That's fine. That's my little phone calendar. So we can connect. I'll take a look at your handle. Timothy used to be hotel and restaurants. Awesome. So Timothy, first of all, I would say like think about what is the connection piece. Why did you want to switch into real estate? What are the things that transfer really well? So put some thought around that. And that's what you should be talking about. So a lot of agents have pivoted, right? Anyone else here has pivoted from another career. A lot of my agents have pivoted. Drop in here what you shifted from. It's helpful to say, like, what are the connective tissue, right? Like, just like I gave you the example before of my connective tissue is that I'm a working mom and I was in corporate. A lot of people are pivoting. A lot of my clients are pivoting. So building that connection piece with them. Exactly. Serving, restaurant, professional customer service. Sydney and Timothy, do you know each other? Just kidding. Sydney, first professional page. Our personal following is better. What should we do? Focusing on building the professional page. So again, the same question about the personal and professional page. Build them both, but cross post. So if you have a personal page and a professional page, you can make something and go both. It's really the professional page has limitations, some good things in terms of advertising and all that. Business page also doesn't have access to all like the fun music and whatnot. At the end of the day, you just want people to know you. But I do think it's like if you're stretched on time, you have to be very wise about how you use your time. I had one client come to me, an agent had like 4 different handles. I'm like, that's too many. It's too much to keep up with. It's just more of a strain on your time. It's not about bad or good. It's just more being realistic about your time. It's hard to keep it up. So wherever you can be consistent with is great. And so, Timothy, I would say stretch the connection between your old career and your new career, and then start teaching about like what you know about real estate. Start answering the questions that people are coming to you with. Introduce yourself, and then it's consistent. People aren't going to see just your one video. You got to keep showing up with that same message. Um, awesome, Sydney. Awesome, Timothy. Great. I'm just looking at all the comments. Great. Leva or Leva. Or yes, or no, is that Aiva? I'm sorry. I'm saying people's names wrong. I'm sorry. Hi, Anthony. Cool, Jennifer. Great. Okay, awesome. I think we have and then I'm gonna tag everybody. And I had the download, the free real estate tips, which you can grab as a free download. And then I think we have time for like one more question if anybody else wants one more question.
How often should I be posting?
You should be posting however often you can keep up with. So some of my agents that are really succeeding, they're doing 3, 4 posts a week. If that's not realistic for you and you're not going to keep it up, you're better off doing 2 posts a week that's consistent rather than 4 posts a week and then drop off for a month because you're so burnt out. So I think that it's for growth, the more the merrier. Truly, if you're like, I have time, I need this to work, I got to do it, post 5 times a week. Like do that, right? Like collaborate with people, go all in, give me a call, I'll give you a strategy about how to do that. Go all in. If you're already kind of busy, but you know you want to build it as a part, whatever you can do consistently is great. Um, there needs to be a consistency of you and a consistency of message. So I'm not talking about you with your dog every week. I'm talking about you talking about real estate and sometimes with your dog. We're building the connection piece, the personal to person to person, but we're also building the professional piece. So the connection and that credibility. Let's say you're doing 3 posts a week, one of them professional, one of them that professional credibility piece. One of them, maybe that personal connection piece, the other, a credibility piece. And even the credibility pieces don't have to be boring. You could be talking about real estate while, you know, on your bicycle. And it could be fun. It could be a fun video. It doesn't have to be boring just because it's credibility. So I think that's just also a way to think about it. Like sometimes I do a video where I teach people about how to make good videos and I have me talking to another me. It's like it doesn't always have to be just you talking to camera. It could be a lot of different things. Edit. Is it better to retake or just keep posting? Um, Editing. Is it better to retake, meaning keep doing takes? Sorry, Sydney. Do you mean take again and again? And oh, three take max. Don't film yourself more than three times. You're going to get tired. Your energy is going to flag. It's not going to be better than the first time. Three take max.
Yeah, I feel like you get confused afterwards. You're like, I don't even know what I said now.
Because then you're just in your head. You're like, oh, I stumbled on that word. I stumbled on that word. It's normal. We speak how we speak. It's okay. Fumbling is normal. So unless you said the wrong thing, unless you said the wrong agency, unless you said your name wrong, just keep going.
All right. Well, Kim Rittberg is our guest today. She is amazing. I want everybody to go into the chat and schedule time with Kim. She is a absolute expert at video marketing. So everybody, we all need more video views. We need more leads. We need to do better on social. This is the year to do it. Kim is the person to help you. Please go schedule some time with her. I know Kim, she is amazing, and hopefully you guys got a ton of value from her. I know you did. So Kim, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Amazing. All right, everyone, we are wrapping up. But before you go, I want to give you guys some suggestions that I have to impart from some recent episodes I've done. I want to give you guys some sort of quick hits on what this might, some things that you can do to actually drive your business forward. First of all, thank you to everybody for being on this webinar. This is our second one. It's going great. We have had amazing speakers today. Cheers to everybody who's attending. Cheers to our speakers. And I wanted to leave you guys with a couple of items of value here. So I was taking some notes earlier. There's one social media platform that I want you guys to focus on if you aren't already: LinkedIn. LinkedIn is probably the biggest missed opportunity for realtors. I just did an episode with a LinkedIn expert a couple episodes back. You can check it out. I don't know if it's out. I believe it's out. If it's not, we'll get it out shortly. But there is so much opportunity there. And this is where business professionals hang out. These are where your clients hang out. So take a listen to that. Also, what's cool about LinkedIn is it tells you when people have business promotions, tells you when they have work anniversaries, tells you when they have birthdays. So you can actually reach out to your sphere in different ways, right? You could say, hey, someone just got a promotion. Or if you want to get really sleek, you want to find out what someone's doing, find out what their business is, what's happening in their business. So you can follow their business on LinkedIn and look for, events. So you look at LinkedIn, check your notifications. It'll give you all sorts of reasons to reach out and connect with your sphere. Another thing, so that was my first tip, was use LinkedIn. My second tip, open houses. Danielle talked about this at the beginning. Open houses, guys, I've been doing the show for 7 years, over 600 episodes, millions and millions of downloads. And I promise you, every single person I've talked to loves open houses. I mean, maybe there's one exception to that. I can't even think of one, but open houses win the game. It's how you find buyers, it's how you get leads, and it's how you get experience, most importantly. So if you don't have any listings, don't worry. Reach out to agents in your market, reach out to agents in your office and say, please, 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 can I do open houses for you? I will sit open houses for you. This is the secret, guys. Just about everybody I've ever interviewed tells me open houses are the secret. Don't let people tell you they're not. And if you feel that they aren't successful for you, find somebody who's doing them really, really well in your market. Tell me about them, by the way, and I'll reach out to them and I'll bring them on the show. We'll find out what they're doing and we'll get their secrets. And that also think about somebody in your personal market, somebody that you look up to, you aspire to be in the real estate industry. Let me know who that person is. We have people watching or listening from all over the country. And if you have somebody in your local market that is a superstar, let us know about them. We want to talk to them and get them on the show. Here's another suggestion. Ask your clients where they work. Now, why is this? Now, of course, you should know where your clients work, but I'm really talking about your sphere of influence. Know where everybody in your sphere works. Why? Because you can set up alerts for all of those companies. So that way, we're here in the metro Chicago area. So we have all sorts of businesses here. A lot of them, obviously, we can put people on alerts. So all of a sudden, I can know when things are happening in my sphere's business life, right? So that I can reach out and say, hey, I just saw a news article about, XYZ. That's pretty cool. Here's another thing, guys. I'll tell you, before I got into real estate, I was in IT and I was on the marketing team, and we had an HR department. And the HR department, what their job, as far as I could tell, one of their responsibilities was to provide, education to the employees. We had 150 employees roughly, most of them in their early 20s. These are great opportunities for developing relationships for realtors because these are people that are going to be buying homes when they hit 30 or so. So what I would have done if I were a realtor at that time is I would have reached out to somebody like me and said, hey, who's the HR person at your company? Do you have a lot of people that are thinking about buying their first home? If so, I can come in and do a presentation for you. I can bring in lunch, I can bring in some drinks and food, and I can talk about how to make the transition from renting to buying. Or I could, and then you can partner up with lenders, you could partner up with, you know, uh, other sort of ancillary business partners to help you kind of put it together. It doesn't have to cost you anything. You're providing value to the HR person. That's their job. Their job is to actually do this. This is such a missed opportunity. So for everybody who works in a corporate, or anyone in your sphere that works in a corporate environment, consider reaching out to them and saying, hey, can you connect me with the HR person? I'd like to do a little seminar about how to consider, home ownership or investing or whatever it might be. Maybe partner up with an insurance agent, things like that. Um, Danielle Dowell earlier today talked about CMAs, and she made a very subtle but amazing comment that I picked up, which was she doesn't ask her clients, "Do you want to know what your home is worth?" She tells her clients what their home is worth. Your home is worth this. Your home is worth X. Isn't that a powerful statement? Think about how can we leverage that? How can we use that with our sphere of influence? Hey, you think about, one of the most flattering things you can do for somebody is to think about them and let them know that you're thinking about them, right? So what I would do if I were a practicing agent, I might say, hey, GJ, I was just thinking about that condo that you bought 4 years ago. And I think it's actually worth X right now, or I came up with a price that I think it's actually worth. Would you like to have a conversation about it? I would love to know what my condo is worth. I actually don't know what my condo is worth in real life. So the reality is people always want to know what their property's worth. Tell them what it is. You're the expert, you're the specialist. That's your job. And this is the easiest way to start a conversation because everybody always wants to know. And you could always say too, well, what is Zillow? If they say, well, Zillow says it's worth X. Say, well, I'm going to do a double check. I'm more accurate than Zillow, so let me go in and take a look, and I can tell you exactly what I think. So, in my fifth tip, my last tip, ChatGPT. If you're not using ChatGPT every single day, you're missing out. Now, yes, can it do things for us? Yes. I'm going to give you a tip that you probably wouldn't think to do. Uh, we're going to use it to help you overcome objections and get better at listing presentations. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into ChatGPT and you're going to say, hey, I'm either a seller or buyer. It doesn't have to just be a listing presentation, but I'm a client, and here's the kind of client that I'm looking to attract. And I want you to fire objections at me And by the way, you can in ChatGPT, if you pay for, I believe, well, I pay for it. It's like $20 a month. The free version, I think you can do it through Bing Copilot. So if you just want to do it for free, Microsoft has it, Bing Copilot. I believe you can speak to it. I don't believe there's a cost for this, but I encourage you to upgrade to the $20 Chat GPT version because it will maintain a memory for you and it'll start building uh, more information about you specifically. But anyway, what you can do is you can tell it, this is the kind of client I'm looking for, and then fire objections at me, and then listen to my rebuttal, and then tell me how I did. And if it's not great, tell me what I should have said differently. What would have been a better thing to say? What would have been a better way to present this information? Attorneys are doing this, guys. Attorneys. My girlfriend is a trial attorney. She is in courtrooms trying attorneys. She is doing this to help win cases, right? This is how can we best present this to a jury, right? Same sort of thing. You can do this in Chat GPT. It's very, 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 very cool. So this is about practice. This is how you get to win presentations. Practice, 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 drill, drill, drill. All right, everyone, let's call it a day. You guys are amazing. We love all of you. Appreciate all of you. You showed up, you suited up, and you played for 3 straight hours. That is a lot. Congratulate yourself. You just spent 3 hours working on your business. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Congratulate yourselves. Please remember to tell a friend about our podcast. We appreciate it. And as always, leave us a review if you can in whatever podcast app you're listening to. And we will see everybody next month. We will be sending out information from our speakers to everybody, and the videos from this webinar will be sent to you as well in the next week or so. Thank you to all of our audience. Thank you to our speakers. Thank you to our guests. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love doing this. I love interacting with you guys personally, and we will see you guys next month. We'll do it again. Thanks.